So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Campaign 2, the Neighborhood Watch, where we last left our group of intrepid adventurers. They had just begun looking into the Brotherhood of the Chain, the people that they were beginning to realize may be responsible for a coming apocalypse, to put it simply. I already got Jill. um, uh, they appear to be trying to assemble the body of a long dead vampire to try and bring it back to life, which would effectively spell the end for most people on this continent and then eventually more people. So, you all have begun looking into those individuals, trying to find out more information about who they are, what they do, what exactly can be done with this. And you found some bits and pieces of information. You found that Quincy Hauk, the halfling that you were aware of, is a master of coin over in Giran, which would basically mean he is the man in charge of finances for that entire city, possibly further out. Cloud is responsible for a lot of the gambling and blackmail jobs that happened in the family. Dorothy was the now Queen Bitch of Thornhurst. She's possibly an assassin, and she has the nickname of the Ice Princess. She's also an Ice Ganassi. Arbor was a male tabaxi. He is a smuggler of a thief of some sort. And then the most interesting ones were Prudence Dumas, the female elf, who looks to be the assistant, possibly personal assistant, to Lord Fianbor Yanra, the ruling individual for South Ekes, and Florencio Nunez, who is an acolyte to the god of resolution and peace, and appears to be associated with one of the individuals that raided your tower and is responsible for the death of Tana, one of your old party members.
It's the god. Okay, the god that he's. Okay, just a really quick question
Mm-hmm.
about that specifically.
Yes.
Do we know the god, the person that raided? Do we know what they're the god of, or no?
The man who attacked your tower, that was the god of ambition.
It was the god of ambition.
Yeah, you know that.
Okay, I
Um,
could not remember if we remembered that or not, but yeah, okay. I just wanted to be sure. All right, cool.
no, you're completely aware of that fact. Um, so that is basically where you left off, as the individual that you saw in the vision with Florencio Nunez ended your scry, not allowing you to see any more of what they were doing. And that was where we left off. So, you all are still inside of your cart. A majority of this information has been forwarded to you by Fizzy, as she is the only individual capable of doing scry. So, what next, you all?
Great question. um, we were definitely trying to get incense for legend lore, but that's you have to travel for that, I think.
Yeah, we also need a good chunk of it.
And there's still more people that we need to try to scry on.
Yes, you need to start making trips around the continent to start getting a shit ton of incense for legend lore. And also, you do need to find more information on the individuals in question.
Technically, I mean, I don't know how many days it's gonna take, but technically, I can only do 3 skies a day. So, like, I would have to limit myself to that because of spell, unless we start like into the coat, which I don't really want to do.
Yeah. It appears I'm going to need to download a new version of the music bot. So yeah, please talk amongst yourselves. Alrighty.
We should perhaps start putting together plans for dealing with several of these individuals. Certainly, any that are involved in various governments will be more difficult to reach and deal with without
Well,
attracting notice.
I don't think the one who works for the guy and the king or the whatever the leader and I actually don't think that one will be hard. It will be hard to get to, but I don't think it will be hard to kill. If that makes sense, because I don't think they're very strong from the looks of it.
Yes.
So we can probably
Like
assassinate him.
I was gonna say that one we can make look like an accident. Because some of this we do have to make look like accidents.
We just have to make sure they have good aim and we don't like hit the ear or something.
I hate you so
Shut
Shut the
much.
fuck up. God damn it.
Oh no, we're in so much trouble. Well, that one specifically,
I got
we don't think we need to shoot at all. That one we shouldn't shoot at all because then that will make things hard. That one we can get away with. I hate you.
Psychic damage is typically difficult to trace.
Could do that. I'm not good at that, but someone else is, I'm sure. Aren't you good at that, Fitz?
Psychic damage, but the lance has a giant visible component.
Oh.
Yes.
I mean, we can also poison them.
I would say it's already reliable.
I was like, aren't you? You're good at poison, so am I.
I've killed many people with poison, yes.
Yeah, so that we can do. Can you do untraceable poison?
Untraceable, no, but hard to trace, yes.
No.
Okay, that's easier to work with. Because you can
Well,
just put that in some food and then they're dead.
there are also those who have many enemies. For instance, Dorothy. If we were to find anyone who was sufficiently powerful and also had ambitions of replacing her, then it would be very easy to make that seem as though it was a power struggle and not related to us. There is also the missing individual Thorn. If people haven't been able to keep track of him, then he might disappear without people catching on for a while.
I am sending someone a message right now.
$5 is it's jolly.
That makes sense.
Yes.
It's not.
Arbor could be another person we might be able to stage, not necessarily looking at in
Ah, shit. No, it was me. I lost that bet.
but as someone else killed him, as being a smuggler does carry some occupational hazards.
Con, I'm aware I have access to that spell. I just haven't. I don't have enough magic paper.
Yeah.
I used all of it to. I had 500 pieces of magic paper,
Oh, when we get
and
to
a fifth level spell is how many pieces?
If
Isn't
you're
it two-
inscribing it into a spell book, it's 50 gold per level.
Yeah, it's 250.
Yeah.
Oh,
250
never
per-
mind.
Yeah, you have enough.
Someone give me the book. Thank you, Fitz.
Do you need help
Who wants to
bleeding
bleed
on
with
it?
me?
I'll bleed with you.
Cool. It's a fifth level spell.
I'll just do everything except for one.
Same, which means I give up 69 health.
I give up 80.
Nice.
And then
Alright.
Yeah.
So that you both don't pass saddles, give 30 land hands to each.
Okay.
Like,
Sick. To each, so
yeah.
cool.
I go up to 30.
Bleeding on the book. So 69 and 80, you said,
Yeah,
Michelle?
so it's 150, 149.
That's more than enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jess as Darius and Fizzy do this, the book will begin to populate itself with runes and archaic text going over a method of how to cast a spell
To invade
um,
people's dreams.
to invade people's dreams.
Fun fact, I can also do that. I'm pretty sure as a druid. Don't they get that?
We can knock 2 out in one night.
I mean, I can't do it now because I have, unless again, what is it called?
Dream.
Dream.
Dream. I swear I get it, but I don't have
Oh
it in
my
my spell
God.
thing. Hold on.
Oh
What
my
a
god.
creative name for a spell. That's crazy.
Michelle, let me check real quick. I can find it.
I'm
a lot
looking it up
faster.
myself.
I already have it up. Bard, Druid, Warlock, and Wizard.
Yeah, I get it too. Yeah.
You know,
No, but
Yeah, it's
so- yeah, that's true. If we knock 2 out in one night, that's a good way to essentially, if once we are ready to fully move in,
yes.
Oh, okay.
because we can set up around the third one, take out the 2 the night before, and then go after the third, and that'll get us 3 in quick succession, which
And
is a surprise attack.
we could
Oh, that
also
is a good
leave the
idea.
family to taking care of Plod.
Wait. Hey, Kaz.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know about the family, right?
The family? Haven't we
Mafia.
talked to them before? I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, can you? Because you're smart, and you're good at like sneaky things, right? Shut up, Kaz. You're smart. Stop that. You may not think so, but you are. You're just smart. Like it's you don't read books. Who cares? You do other things that are way cooler than the rest of us do.
Your
And,
point. What's your point?
You're good at sneaky, correct?
Okay. Sure.
Can't we like do something that makes the person in the family look bad to other people in the family? Can't you like put stuff in like framing or whatever
What?
so that they can take care of their own problem, right? It's not.
I
It's
think
not
we already promised the guy in charge of the family would deal with his.
Yeah, Oriel requested that we just leave it to him.
leave it to them.
We just need
so-
to have
okay.
proof that it's this person.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Sorry.
I mean, technically, the mirror already pointed out, but it's
My
not
mirror-
that simple.
That
My
might not
memory's
be
bad.
proof enough for Oriel. We don't. Who knows how his mind works?
But we are very close and have a lot of information. As soon as that is set in motion, then that issue is effectively taken care of. I'm certain that for a trader, Oriole will expend whatever resources necessary to take him down quickly.
Hell, he'll probably use our good old friend to get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucked up, killing your own sibling. But it is what it is. Also, I'm listening. I'm making a list thingy. So we know Avik is a combatant.
At the very least,
Oh,
he was
absolutely.
active in the war, and
Prudence is a civilian.
most likely might have
Borhaus is
mind.
already dead, so we don't need to worry about that.
He was also effectively just a civilian.
The acolyte to Pascal is. Would we consider that a civilian or a combatant?
You're not sure. Because the problem is that it all depends on what kind of clerical training they have. There's a big difference between I am a priest, I lead congregations, and I am a cleric. I know how to cast spells.
I think
Yeah.
legend lore might be good for that. That might give us
Yes.
more information.
Additionally, neither the group that killed your former companion nor this council really know to look for me. So if it comes to it, I could go in there seeking for resources or some sort of magic and see if
Claude?
she'd oblige.
Claude is definitely a combatant, considering he walks around carrying, a weapon and has killed a monkey.
Yes, and apparently split the earth open on a previous encounter with him.
Yeah. Quincy's a master of coins, so he's probably a civilian. Thorn, we don't really know much about yet, correct?
Correct. You have not really found out any information.
If he frequently travels on his own in the wilderness and acquires magical items, he probably has some combat capabilities.
Sure. I'm still gonna mark them as unknown for now.
Dorothy, likely combatant.
Combatant.
Yeah.
Arbor,
Definitely.
possible mage, combatant.
Likely combatant. Madrid and Aloysius Slate, you don't know about.
Unknown. And the final human, we don't know what about.
Yep.
Okay. I'm breaking these up into who we're going to have to fight and who we can just outright get rid of. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmed combatants. And 1, 2, 2 right now, 3 right now, civilian. So that's kind of what we have going right now. Once we figure out what the rest are, we can divvy up and decide how to approach each of them for the... And it's a shame we don't have a death note.
Wrong game. Wrong game. Doesn't exist here.
We don't have a death note, but we do have dream, which is, as far as civilians are concerned, the same thing.
Well, technically we have a dream and Kaz, which are probably the same thing.
It's basically the same thing as a death note.
If we leave Kaz alone long enough in a space where she can sneak, no one will know.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we go from here?
Indeed. I think we start... Well, we still have more information to gather. So let's start with that.
If it comes down to it, he could also potentially stage an accent for one individual out in public. I could change the form that Blues takes to, say, an elk, and have it seem like an animal attack.
We could do animal attack.
There's something wrong with this horse.
There is something.
I mean, I can also do animal attack. I would...
very wrong with this creature.
He still wants to kill me, so...
I would point out, I can also do an animal attack if we want to do that route.
Well, Balus at least has plausible deniability of being an animal as opposed to a druid wild shape.
You also have the issue of being very pale in whatever form you take.
Pretty recognizable.
That's very true.
But
Balus just looks like a horse.
yes, but I could also have assumed the form of other creatures. Not all of them would make sense in this environment, but an elk or a mastiff certainly.
What terrible luck. 3 of our members died in their sleep and 1 was mauled to death by a mastiff. Who could have seen this coming?
What a wild coincidence this past
This
24
is
hours
why,
has been.
To be fair, this is why I was like, poisoning it is also an option.
Yeah, gonna instigate new leash laws in
Like different forms. That's a Michelle thing, though. So I mean, whatever.
To give you context, there are aerosol versions of poison we can use.
There are.
That I do know how to make some of. I just need the materials for. Essentially, we could put it in a perfume bottle and hand it over.
I mean, I have no problem saying this because you're more than smart enough, Darius. There's a dozen different ways you could do it. Really, you could put put poison into a perfume bottle. You could do a contact poison and hide it in like makeup powder.
Somebody needs to be a femme fatale.
Yeah, like you really, there are 1,000 different ways you could go about poisoning someone.
Technically, this
personally-
was still during the time period when a lot of makeups included arsenic, so...
Yeah, there are probably still some heavy metals there, so they're probably already poisoning themselves a little bit, but like,
Yeah,
Well,
you can speed it up.
Noticed.
The problem comes in with that of what would react to the arsenic.
It's a fantasy
is-
game. Don't worry.
Listen!
Don't worry that much.
You know what it.
Something.
You know. You have a good brain. You know what it is.
But also,
I personally vote Fitz be the femme fatale,
No.
just because I think it would be very funny.
Try to seduce someone, Fitz.
Bordering on transphobia here.
No.
Don't do it like that.
First of all,
I don't know the other version.
don't ever call my boy a femme anything. He's the manliest man around.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves on that front.
I said what I said.
He's certainly a man, but he's not the manliest man.
I mean,
said what I said.
I think technically the male version would be homme fatale.
Homme fatale? That sounds stupid,
homme.
though.
Homme. Homme.
Technically.
Or in this
yeah.
case, homo fatale, but you know, that's a little different.
That's
I mean,
accurate,
that is what Fitz is.
Accurate.
But yeah, so I mean, first and foremost, though, you guys do still have more ingredients that you need to acquire. So if you want, we can play it out, or otherwise, we can just have you guys start doing some travel, and we can kind of compress some time and make it a little bit quicker.
Mhm.
Because I know you have the funds to do it. I know you have the ability to do it. There's no real need for us to play that out. So the biggest questions are, what are active things that you guys want to do or scenes you want to do? And what are the big things you wish to acquire right off the bat?
We need incense.
Yep. How much incense, by the way, like for how many
250.
uses?
250 is one legend lore.
How many legend lores do you guys care to cast? Because in theory, you could do it for everybody on the list, or you could pick and choose.
I don't think we need to do it for everyone. I think we need to do
I
it
think
for
the idea
people
was
that
to
we
do
don't-
it for the people who were most likely to notice a scry. So like, maybe like
Avec.
the queen bitch, the might not need to do Cloud because he's pretty.
Guys, good news, I
Reform.
did actually look it up. Cyanide is capable of being aerosolized, and it is neither a strong oxidizing agent nor strongly acidic, which means it will not react with arsenic.
That's great.
I'm not kissing your ass.
This is one of the more distracting portions of Jill and Jess now living together, is that we will intermittently see a cryptid appear in the background of Jess's camera.
Oh, you'll see it the other way around too. Jill's beside
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah. But yeah, so there may still be some things that you guys wish to do. But the biggest thing is, I just need to know how many things of how many doses, for lack of a better term, for legend lore you're going to want to buy. I'll figure out the math, I'll figure out the cost, and I'll figure out how long it'll take, and then at that point it's a matter of you guys deciding what else you want to do in the meantime. Scenes, conversations, actions. Like, do you want to go talk to someone? Do you want to go preemptively kick the shit out of Avek at his workplace? You know, stuff like that.
We want to do that, we can't.
I want to do it so badly.
I have to ask. I mean, it's possible one of you would want to do it.
I don't think we could get away with it.
But yeah, so
I think Gaz
So
wanted to do birthday parties too.
you guys did also
Yeah.
want to do birthday parties. By the way, so yeah, how many doses, or how many uses of legend lore are you aiming for?
We already left Dose in the forest.
Okay,
Oh, right.
let's.
Yeah, we need to kill Dose.
Yes.
That is also true.
My phone won't connect to the Wi-Fi, and I don't know why.
That's a quick one, to be fair.
So, Avek, I'm assuming you'll want to use legend lore on. Okay.
Probably Dorothy.
Yep, Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to do so on Claude or no? Cloud, I should
Claude, we
say.
already know who it is, so there's no real reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think we'll get useful information.
Thorn?
Possibly
Thorn.
Thorn.
I think Thorn's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you care to do so on Arbor? Mute your microphone.
Oh, fuck.
Arbor is possibly a mage. He is possibly a talented thief. Do you want to find out more info on him?
That might be useful.
I think if we, yeah, I think if we can't, if like scrying isn't really an option, we should do the legend lore. Is like where I stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really.
Just tell me how many times I need to do it.
It seems like 4 so far.
Yeah.
Because you do still have a few more that you could possibly do a scry on that are possibly not threats,
Yeah.
but you don't know.
Because we've got Madrid and Aloysius, we know literally nothing about. So those are definitely scries.
But that would mean like about 1,000 gold's worth of incense. It's entirely doable for something like that to be done. It is going to require travel.
Yeah.
So you guys would basically be using the train systems and your own methods of getting from place to place to jet set your way across the country, or countries more accurately. And you're just going to be buying up shit tons of incense. I'm going to tell you that I'll say that'll take about 4 days of work, as you guys are just getting whatever the fuck you can.
Which town is the church in that has Florencio Nunez?
Vientito. I will say there is one other thing that will expedite things if you want. Splitting up.
Mm-hmm.
Do we trust ourselves to split up?
I wouldn't ask the question of trusting yourselves. I would ask the question of trusting everybody who is out to get you.
I don't trust it, personally.
Like, I'm the one safe person to split off, but how much would that help?
I don't think it's a good idea to split up. I know it would like speed things up, but if people don't realize that we're after them, we can be a little more deliberate, you know? We don't need to go fast. We don't need to be Sonic.
Okay. So no splitting up. 4 days is looking like the timeline for getting the incense you need. So in that 4-day time period,
Oh, my health comes back.
well, yes, of course, restore hit points, what have you. In that 4-day time period, are there any things that you guys want to do?
Let me look in my stuff.
Birthday
If you need to, I was gonna say, if you need to, look at the to-do list. Because I know that there are still a few things that have not been completed after that.
One of the times overnight we could try to deal with those.
Yeah.
And the trains don't travel at night.
I mean, does Fitz want to try to talk to Hadrian again?
Oh, that does remind me. Granny would ask Fitz privately if he followed through on his promise to her and how it went. So you're not getting out of this. So yeah,
There's a very easy way to get out of it. Fitz just runs and never comes back.
yeah. So like, the party splits off into their rooms after dinner or something, and Granny grabs Fitz and is like, "Did you? So, how did it go? You never."
It went great. Yeah, it was great. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll that deception check?
Yeah. That's what I get. Deception. Oh, a -1.
-1.
Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Surely this will be 14 minus 1, 13.
This is 24.
Slowly getting better at lying, but not much. Better.
This may shock you, but Fitz was not being truthful.
Granny just gets a really like concerned look on her face. She's like, "Didn't go well."
He might have been in the middle of a murder.
Oh.
I got nervous. Made a sound that was audible for the ears, and he turned around, saw me, and then I ran, and I took off.
I suppose that's the danger of trying to confess to a serial killer.
Yeah, see, and that's why I don't do anything, because I did it and the worst possible case scenario happened. I did it.
It could be worse.
Could it? Could it be worse? Tell me how. Tell me how it could be worse.
You know, I don't think I will.
I can think of a couple ways it could be worse.
Out of character, I would say, "Oh no, I need to kill him now," because he saw me in the middle of. But Fitz doesn't
We're
need
cool,
to think
though.
that.
We're cool.
We're cool. We're cool.
Man,
We're cool.
you're in trouble next time Kaz decides she wants to check up on Hadrian.
Me?
No, Fitz is in trouble.
Oh.
Because Kaz does that sometimes.
I try to be brave. And it.
I don't like that Jolly's blinking so much, like.
Batting her eyelashes.
What do you fucking mean by that? What the fuck do you mean by that?
But Granny just fits a little reassuring shoulder squeeze. Well, I would say something comforting, but I'm really just very surprised. I'm so sorry that you just did it at the wrong time.
Sort of stings a little bit more after having my brother tell me how stupid I am. And then I did it and I saw it and I ran.
Perhaps you should try again to get ahead of it, but in the middle of the day, so that way chances are greatly reduced it will be in the middle of such an action.
Yeah, was my next suggestion, was maybe if you call him again, you don't do it in the middle of the night.
As much as you'd like to hide the rest of the group here from knowing what you're doing, late at night does tend to be the time when assassins do their work. Do you understand?
Most people at night are sleeping, perhaps.
And that's what makes an assassin's job easier.
or reading
I-
a book. No.
I have an out of character thought.
Short top.
In terms of like trying to kill civilians, you
Go.
can always ask Hadrian to assist on that since he's not linked with us in the group.
If any of them are Stonehearts other than Amador, fair
I-
game,
I-
honestly.
I need to point out the insanity of like the bedfellows you'd be making at that point in time. You'd be like, hey, we need to kill people who may or may not be tied to the governments. Let's get the serial killer to help us.
That does not seem like the best idea necessarily.
He's a nice man.
Here's the thing, I need to counter that. It would be a good idea for effectiveness. It would be a
great idea.
horrifying idea from a moral perspective.
Okay, so God forbid a man have hobbies.
Hold on. I need to point out something. We don't have morals in this group. Brandy and Fitz do. The rest of us don't.
It's true too.
My
Yeah.
morals are very quickly going out the window with the fact that my
I'm
boy has
just
a crush on a
saying,
serial killer already.
He's not part of the technically the group.
Also,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna
also,
be
it
killing
wouldn't get
government
pointed-
people anyway. What is it? Hi, Bean.
I mean,
Hey, listen, it's good. How do you approach that? Hey, listen, I know you're a serial killer. Do you want to help us out?
Since I killed the Stoneheart before, could you kill a non-Stoneheart? Kind of
Yeah,
balance
can
it
you
out,
like
you know?
help us out?
Hey, quid pro quo, bro.
There's a lady dwarf. We don't know if she was a Stonehide or not.
No, Fitz killed Borja. That's what
I was
I'm saying,
half
like,
dwarf.
I mean, it. Okay. I would like an intelligence check rolled by the party.
I can't roll my dice right.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me do my oracle roll first.
she said
Ooh, I rolled a 19 for my oracle roll.
You said this just straight intelligence roll?
Just straight intelligence,
13
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I'm not straight, but okay.
I rolled a
Uh,
13.
Ah, I rolled a 5.
That's a 5 from Costella.
normal.
Comfy.
That's a total of 20.
I rolled a 14.
So I
Okay.
rolled a 7. I think
Okay.
it's plus 6.
I'd roll with Blues for fun, but Blues has to -2.
Yeah, so you said 17 plus 6, right?
Who?
You?
Me? No,
Yeah,
I
you.
said 7 plus 6.
Oh,
13.
7 plus 6, 13. Okay.
13. I think.
Here.
So yeah, Ignatius. So Ignatius, there is a potential problem that could crop up from this. If you cannot get him to agree wholeheartedly without bargaining or what have you, there is the risk of another Stoneheart or ex-Stoneheart being an individual that he puts a mark on. And there is definitely one ex-Stoneheart in that list that very well could be a great target that he may go after no matter
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't wanna-
we do need to protect Amador.
Amador Bayo
from Hadrian.
used to be in the military and used
You know-
to be part of the Stoneheart
No,
division.
You know there's an easy solution to this, right?
Kill Amador.
No,
No,
we just
he
gotta
can
fucking
fake his-
tell him the whole list.
We kill him. We let him
Yeah,
die.
we weren't gonna. My impression was we weren't ever gonna tell him the whole list. It was just like if there was a Stoneheart on it, other than Amador,
Yeah.
we would be, hey, you want to go after this guy?
Unfortunately, the most appetizing target for him is the one that is pretty much exempt from the list.
Well, we don't know if any other ones are Stonehearts.
We That might be something that Legendlore could unveil if they might not be Stonehearts themselves, but if they had intentional assistance to some, then that could make them viable targets. But we should likely avoid broaching the subject until we know more.
Go back to eating legend lore.
I'm useful.
Yes.
So yeah. Again, I've given you guys this opportunity. If there are any scenes you want to do, you have a 4-day period where it can happen at some point. Otherwise, I will go right past it.
I feel like one of the times when the group is Ignatius would say, "Would any of you like to meet my brother? I mean to call him to let him know there might be excavations in the near future in the part of Akes that the Mushroom Forest used to take up."
Is he hot?
Does he look anything like you?
I feel like I should be here for this conversation anyway, if it involves the forest. So I'm gonna be
Yes.
there. You know.
Well, he's an archaeologist. I'm not certain where he is right now, but he is off continent. However, I'd say that there is certainly family resemblance. And Connor, I have the description if
I was already coming up with one if you wanted me to do it. I could do that.
I have a description already, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's from a few months ago that I sent it to you because the possibility came up.
Yep. Hold on a second. Let me pull that up.
Did I tell you guys that the first night in the house I stepped on broken glass?
Yeah, I think I heard this.
Where
Ow.
did the broken glass come from?
I had
There.
3 of these little Pyrex.
I'll pin it for your reference. And then it can be unpinned at some point.
Or
So do you
What?
only have 2 of them
Purple.
now? You only
I
have
have
one
just
now.
the one.
Oh,
2
my
of the other 2 were
God.
green and purple, and they fell out of my toe and broke. And then I stepped directly into glass, and it went right into my
Oh.
foot, and it hurt real bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mom gave them to me, and I was like, "Whoa, my toes."
That's a bum.
At least it's not one though.
So I'm assuming you're going to use the mirror to get your brother.
He doesn't have other ways of communicating.
So you will move your way over to the Mirror of Omniscience to speak to your brother. As you do so, you will see that a image of what looks to be a sandy environment is pulled up upon the mirror's reflection. It looks like there is a wildly whipping sandstorm off in the distance, and someone has basically brought themselves into a tent that is open on one side to kind of take cover from the ongoing onslaught of sand and wind. The man is fairly large in size, looks to be right around the same size as Ignatius, maybe about 6 foot. He seems be a little bit more better groomed than Ignatius, though. He's got is it coiffed or coiffed?
Oh.
Coiffed brown hair, brown eyes. He has a chin beard, a little soul patch, and a mustache. He does appear to be wearing what looks like a button down with sleeves rolled up, showing off some well tanned skin. And he is currently wearing something like suspenders and slacks. He looks to be honestly like a nerd that works outside. That's basically what you describe him as. And he was going to look over at the rift that has opened up and go, "Hello, brother. Nice to see you again."
Hello, Jacques. Look to be doing well.
Well enough.
Where are you now?
I'm currently in Patricia.
I'd heard that they're starting to let people in there.
They are. Takes some getting used to the sun and the sand, but past that point, it's a lovely place.
First off, I wanted to introduce you to my current traveling companions. So kind of step to the side and let everyone.
Yes, there are.
Harris is gonna pick up Ari's hand and wave it.
Yes, I noticed a few of them hiding behind the door. Nice to meet you all. So, what is it?
I wanted to give you a little bit of an advance warning. The mushrooms infesting the northern part of Akis were recently dealt with. After things get a bit under control, I'm certain that there will be archaeological digs in the area.
Very well. I could see myself planning a trip there within the next likely 2 seasons. But in time, I can make my way over.
Yes. They'll likely have to do quite a bit of mapping out the area before they let anyone in, but
Be nice to the
sorry.
forest. She literally just goes, "Be nice to the forest."
Druid. I see.
Also home. Gonna point that out. That's also
Well.
where I'm from. So, be nice to the forest.
I don't think you have to worry, Fizzy. The point of archaeological digs is to be as careful as possible with both the environment and the subject, as that all provides important contextual clues.
I don't know what that all. I just know people dig things. I saw that in the other place, and they dig very deep. I don't like that a lot. So, just be nice. That's all I'm asking.
I don't expect that I'll be digging very deep. Well, we likely have a season or 2 to wait anyways before the mushrooms begin to decompose. It will take some time, anyways.
Yes.
Additionally, my contract here is not yet up. So, no matter what, I have time.
Any messages that you'd like me to pass on to a parent?
I'm well. I'll likely be home within the next half a year. Nothing extraordinary past that point.
Alright. Well, take care then.
You as well, brother.
Kind of tip his head and then close off the mirror.
You really are related. I'll tell you that, at least visually.
Well, he is also a shifter like myself, though he much more closely resembles our father.
So you're all shifters? I don't know how they work.
No, only my brother and I. Father is a half-elf, and my mother is a Goliath and a werebear.
Ah. Got it.
Your mother is a Goliath?
Goliath
Yes.
werebear.
And
Hold
when
on,
Is she single?
when she is in bear form, she reaches heights of 11, 12 feet.
Sorry,
Quite intimidating.
What I'm getting at is your father literally looked at the previous picture of the room and went, "Yeah, I got that."
As I said, they originally met and tried to kill each other. My father was hired on for a job dealing with a supposed animal that had been killing goats that were being farmed in the area. Turns out that the farmer actually wasn't paying attention and the goats escaped, but put the blame on a wild animal. In their initial confrontation, he took part of her ear, she took two of his fingers, and they found a mutual attraction to one another in the heat of the moment. And after things settled down, they decided to get married.
Huh. What a meet cute.
Certainly one way to meet.
Bless you. What are you doing with Bean?
I was trying to show her to the camera.
And she was like, could not have gotten more limp. Can see your tail.
She's going.
You know, sometimes I can still hear Jill's voice.
I'm sure. Getting there? Are you trying to down?
No other scenes, I'm assuming?
Not right now.
Okay. So, after 4 days of travel, you guys I will, for the simplicity's sake, I will put you back at Carhay, right near your tower. You guys will have traveled around the country itself, collecting as much incense as possible. I will remove 100 100 platinum from your inventory, which would be basically equivalent to all the incense that you've purchased. You have enough for 4 castings of Legend Lore. That is all. So, who first?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Could I have also collected? Could we have also like collected stuff so I can make healing potions?
Such as just like
the root, like the like.
So
whatever.
just like basic healing potions then.
Yeah, because I can put them in the machine and make them better.
Okay. You certainly could have purchased some of that as well. We'll check the cost of it. I think it's 25.
I think she's gonna like spend the time just making some potions while we like travel around for 4 days.
And did we want to deal with those while traveling?
I mean, it is an option you guys could do. It's as simple as just teleporting over there, and you can do it.
Yeah, because then we get all the resources back from resting.
I leave it to the people who's going to be better at killing him than me. Because we already have the means to kill him.
You do? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the means?
Are we doing
Fire, basically.
Yeah, okay. So it is fire.
I
think we should, because we promised, and Mizzy and Adam seem healed now.
Yeah. I can use fire and do wall of fire if you want, and just across him.
I have Searing Smite and the pickaxe that has 2 charges.
For
5
that.
damage.
Okay. You all wind up finding yourselves back at the tower, the inverted tower that Dose was stuck in. There you will see the body in much of the same state it's always been in. Spread out, pulled by the mycelial root structure that is beginning to warp its body further and further. And you will hear the voice of Dose begin to speak from its detached head.
So, I see you've contended with him, it, Roshovska. So it's
Thank
done.
you. Thank you. I have to check in and make sure everything's okay over there, but I think, yeah, I think you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It will take some time for the land to
It's
recover,
fine.
but recovery has begun.
It will likely recover with no issues. No, it will be some issues. But it will recover. Now, are you here to uphold your side of the bargain?
Yes. Finally, time for you to rest.
Good. I've wanted this for a very long time.
All right.
Well,
Do what you must.
this may hurt, but peace lies on the other side. This I promise. I guess Izzy, if you want to do the honors.
Okay, I will. I'll just do a wall of fire, just like over him. This feels very wrong for the record, but you know.
That is entirely the intent of this character.
I understand, but he asked for it. We're committing a euthanasia. It's fine.
Yep.
Unless
You will
extreme
cast.
mercy killing.
You will cast Wall of Fire vertically across his body so that it is covering him entirely. And you will hear inside of your heads at first, it feels almost like a form of static that pulses really quickly and it surprises you all for a moment. And then you will kind of hear Dose's voice appear again and it'll go,
Thank you. Let it burn. Let it keep burning. Let it end.
Considering that this might take a while, Ignatius will also add in Searing Smite and additional fire damage with the Foreman's Pick, just so that the burning happens more quick.
You all will do so. Adding what options you have for burning it quicker and
Oh yeah.
ending Dose's life swifter.
Do we need my alchemist fire? I forgot I.
That could really, I'm imagining that you guys are using whatever you have at your disposal.
I'll use one of my alchemist fires just to make sure it continues burning. I have two.
With the chemical odor from the alchemy fire now mingling with the scent of, well, something closer to fried mushrooms more than burning flesh. The static sound that you are hearing in your heads will eventually start to fade and it will go away. And the voice of Dose quiets well before the fire is out. And you are left with nothing more than a disjointed and spread out skeleton. Some of its bones broken and malformed, twisted where the mushrooms began to grow through or warp its structure. That is all that remains of Dose.
Do you think we should bury the bones up on the surface?
Well, he's already basically cremated. But I can perform a rite for him. Right?
Yeah, and I also love ceremony.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you definitely have ceremony. I
I
know
was like,
you do.
I've done it before. My spell list is not in alphabetical order.
It's a first level spell, so.
Yeah, but more importantly, it's a ritual. So.
Yep.
We can do a funeral rite together as. Yeah. We'll bury him.
Are there any words you'd like to say for Dose on the ceremony or the rite that you're providing him?
I mean, Granny will just say, like, your last actions were to heal our companions and healed an entire forest. So, your journey's at an end and will not be forgotten.
The burden should not be needed to be carried by one individual for so long. But now that the burden has been removed, may you find rest.
Can I just use Druidcraft to sort of just like just cover the like bones and stuff with flowers and whatnot?
You may. You may.
I shall do that then.
You guys will leave Dose's body in a relatively shallow grave, as there is no flesh to be stolen by animals.
No animals to steal it.
Nor any animals to steal currently. And you will then leave his grave without a marker, as you didn't know his real name, just the name he went by. And you will leave it beneath the sun of the surface, and that is the end of Dose. You guys have dealt with Dose, and you now do have the 1,000 golds worth of incense to begin looking in further onto some more dangerous individuals. Do you want to go straight to it, or do you still want to pop off a few scries on the probably just wimpy people?
I mean, there's no reason we can't do the scries during the travel time.
This is true. It's also part of the reason why I asked several times if there are any scenes you want.
Yeah, sorry. We can do scries. We can do scries.
Okay. Who on?
I don't know. Who are we doing scries on? Someone has the list, right?
I think Madrid and Aloysius are the two that we have, the last two that we have literally nothing on.
Well, we have someone Aloysius from Electas, but
Do
still, the scrying helps.
You do not have anything on Aloysius.
No.
You had something on Arbor. You might be thinking of maybe Quincy Hauk, but no, you didn't really get much of anything on Aloysius.
Hey.
Nothing on Aloysius, nothing on Madrid, and nothing on Thorn.
Yeah, but we're gonna legend lore Thorn, so there's no point in scrying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just those two right now.
Yep. Which one first? It's up to y'all.
Going down the list.
Okay. Madrid. Fizzy, you begin your scry using your crystal ball on one Madrid Bernade, a dragonborn. As you do so, you will find yourself looking at an individual who is currently sitting behind a small desk in a dimly lit room. It looks like they're currently doing paperwork of some sort. Their attire looks to be relatively plain, though they are wearing currently what looks like a little pin on their collar. That is, it looks like some kind of a crest, probably for a city, if you were to guess. Their clothing is rather plain, though it does look like they have a thin sheet of chainmail that they are wearing on their body, just as like an act of protection or what have you. And they are currently just kind of writing through reports, flipping through pages, making checks. And in time, you'll see that a dwarven man kind of walks into the room, and you hear them go, Madam Bernade, do you have the list of prisoners that will be released? And Bernade is going to pipe up and go, yes. Wrapping this up right now. Here you are. And she passes over a list of individuals to the dwarven guard, you're realizing, and they continue walking along while Bernade continues doing more and more paperwork.
What does a crest look like?
So I'm just gonna say you guys do recognize it. It will be the crest of Belric.
Okay, so this is a dwarven.
It is a dwarven city. This is a dragonborn woman.
Dragonborn woman in a dwarven city. Interesting. Okay.
We have been to Belbeck before.
Okay. Judging by the fact that she is still wearing some chainmail and what have you, she's probably in charge of the general prison situation over there.
Okay. When I come out, I just want to see if I can figure out anything else in this room. Is there anything else of note in this room? Actually.
Extremely sparse. No signs of any religious symbology here. You can see that there is a short sword present, though the short sword is still oiled and the leather looks to be brand new.
So it doesn't look used.
Yes, it looks extremely unused.
Does she look strong in any way?
She looks like she was naturally physically strong, though she is not actually an individual with trained skills.
Is there any sign of use on the chainmail?
No.
Okay.
No, there is zero sign of combat use on the chainmail she was wearing. It looks like it is strictly for protection. That's
okay. Cool. Yeah, so when I come out, I will tell everybody this. I will say I think she's in charge of the prison in Belric, maybe, from the looks of it. But she doesn't look like she fights. She has a sword. She wears chainmail, but it does not look used at all. I think it's just for protection. She uses it just in case something happens, but nothing ever does. So she probably, if she has sort of any combat experience, it's probably very, very little, and it's probably not very. It hasn't been used in a while. It's very rusty. So she might be someone that's very easily killed, maybe.
Yes. Were you able to get a sense for her age?
Was I able to get a sense for her age?
Approaching 50s.
Her 50s, maybe? Seems like.
As you all, I'm also doing notes on the individual. That way you guys can see it. I'll be posting it in chat in just a bit. As you finish up with Madrid Bernade, you will then move on to a scry upon Aloysius Slate. Correct? Alrighty. As you do so, you will see that the crystal ball will begin to bring about the image of what looks to be a woman. Her hair is shaved, so it is basically down to just thin stubble on her head. Yeah, almost like that. Thinner, actually. It gets shaved very regularly. The woman appears to be fairly roughshod. Her clothes are, I won't say minimalist, they're simple. Their purpose is to be somewhat rugged and to cover her body and to deal with the elements. Her skin looks to be very heavily tanned, slightly cracked and leathery. And you see that she is currently talking amongst a bunch of other individuals, some of whom are wearing much nicer clothes than her, as they are looking over documents and walking past wagons full of various supplies. A lot of it looks to be food, vegetables, grain, ale, recently butchered meat, in some cases, cattle that are to be rounded up and then eventually brought out. It looks like she is effectively talking with individuals on logistics, largely.
Can I see? So I'm outside, right? This is outside?
Correct. It's like a covered area in like a large stables location.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it possible to see where, like, to get a feel for the environment, to maybe see where this is?
It's some kind of a plains area. You're not going to be able to get anywhere near enough information.
Okay.
Some kind of a flat plains that really only leaves so many possibilities.
This is a problem for me, who is a person who plays a character who does not know how to read.
Yes.
It's fine. I can vaguely, I know my alphabet at this point. I feel like.
You could vaguely spell out things, certainly.
So can I look at the papers and see, like, the letters? I'm not gonna be able to, like, tell the word, but, like, I can spell out. I can write it down, and then other people can write it for me. You know what I mean? I want to see if I can tell location, a name, something.
So you would see a word written on there. It basically spells out Quicksilver shipping.
Okay. Okay, that helps. Does the stuff look like they're going to different places?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going all over.
Okay. Are all the people that are not her, that you say are wearing, like, nicer clothes, do any of them have, like, crests or, like, any sort of identifying clothing?
Not really, no. I mean, like, a handful may have some clothes that look nicer and may have a certain style, but there is no one wearing, like, an official garb of a government or anything like that.
Does she have anything that is, like, identifying? Not necessarily, like I don't know. Just trying to figure if I can figure out any more information from this. I don't think so, because I don't think she has, like, does she have scars or anything?
Nothing extraordinary. Like the kind of scars that someone who worked in labor would have.
Does this look like it could be, like, the headquarters of whatever this is?
Yeah, it may be a head shipping location or something similar.
Okay, so that will help us, actually. Okay. Alright. I will come out of the sky.
Okay. You do so.
Does anyone know what Quicksilver shipping is?
That's a question.
Do
Would anyone?
we?
I would like history checks.
And
I'm asking.
what kinds of individuals were around her? If they're predominantly dwarven or elven, that might get us in the right half of the country.
Man, I rolled good.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense for you, actually. Because you, like, would know what to steal from your olden days.
Okay. Fitz.
I robbed trains. I did not.
I think shipping, there could be shipping on trains. I don't know.
Fitz. So you are vaguely aware of the name Quicksilver Shipping. You weren't really like a business person. You know, you didn't have a business degree. You weren't looking for one. But you are vaguely aware of the name Quicksilver Shipping because they are a larger name in transport, specifically of goods. They are what we would know by modern terms, a monopoly of transport in the area. Namely, they started off in Middle Elbadil, so right around this area. And then they started spreading both north and south, and they began shipping goods from all over to where it needs to go. So they are they would be basically this world's equivalent of a trucking industry. They are handling the shipping for food, mercantile goods, alcohol, weapons, armor, building supplies. They are moving and transporting and shipping everything. And they are handling it for a vast majority of both countries.
Do they have a Quicksilver Prime subscription?
Shut up. Shut up, you fucking nerd. So Fitz will forward you all that information as Jill appears to be dealing with it, TM.
All right. He does not appear to be as heavily armed or as capable as some. She might also be a target for that dream spell. One also has to wonder if this business might have been used to transport around the boxes that they have already acquired.
Most likely. She's in charge of logistics. It would be ridiculously easy for her to sneak in an unauthorized box or 7. Send him wherever it needs to go.
Oh, wouldn't she? Okay. She would have, like, information, wouldn't she? Maybe in her, like, don't they have, like, stuff with offices and, I don't know.
Depends on what kind of information you were referring to, Michelle.
I don't know. I'm just thinking, like,
You're talking about, like, shipping records?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did not keep shipping records on the highly sensitive vampire body parts that she is illegally sending over the country.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I had a thought. It was a bad one.
Yeah.
So, you have some more information on, again, some individuals who seem to be not as likely to have combat training, you think. So now that will leave you all with, let me see, Avec Vidal, who you do not have detailed information on. It will leave you with, let me see, Cloud, though you're not as concerned with him. You have Thorn. You have Dorothy, who is a relative unknown, and Arbor, who are relative unknowns. So which one are you guys most interested in starting with for your Legend Lores?
I'm most interested in learning about Dorothy.
Because she's also tied in with how Dawn was put in prison and all that stuff. And
highly suspicious.
We also and Legend Lore would also both give information on her and the people that she surrounds herself with potentially. So we'd know if it was just her or a whole group of strong people we had to deal with to get to her.
Alrighty. So Dorothy is going to be your first target. Excellent. In that case, we will do that in about 5 to 10 minutes as we're going to take a quick break. be back soon. So, as the pieces of ivory are set out and the numerous sticks of incense are lit, you all will crowd into a small room and sit back and watch as Fizzy begins to cast Legend Lore. Actually, no. Is it Fizzy or is it? No, it is Darius. I apologize.
This is a smart person
My mistake.
thing. This is a smart person thing. It's not a
My mistake. I
woo-woo
apologize.
thing.
As you light the incense and sit yourself in the center of the ritual circle you've inscribed, you'll begin to have your eyes roll back as information you should not possess begins to intrude upon your brain. You will see visions of a young woman with pale white skin. Not albino white, but white, like snow. You see that she is currently, it looks like, working with some kind of a group of people. They are beginning to break into homes, and they are beginning to steal and acquire whatever they need for their jobs. And in the process of this, there does appear to be another Ganassi present, who is also similar. They are pastel, though, with a foofy kind of flick of hair at the top of their head. They then have to wear black and cover themselves completely as they begin breaking into homes and stealing from one another, though the woman appears to be much more willing to do what has to be done to get what she wants. And in numerous occasions of their break-ins, this woman will kill people inside of the buildings to then get their stuff and continue stealing without interruption.
Do you remember that woman whose cat ate her face? Is it related to that?
A very interesting question. I will say in this case, no. Very interesting question.
Damn.
I do like that you immediately made that conclusion. That was a plot line that may not be completed this campaign.
Yeah, I believe that other individual with the poofy hair is Dawn.
You see that eventually this woman is kicked out. She's removed as her actions are too dangerous and they're going to get them all caught. And so this woman begins doing her next best thing. She turns to becoming a full-time assassin. She then makes a name for herself in the communities, in various black markets with Thornhurst, and she becomes a well-known assassin. And in time, she realizes that the empty title in Thornhurst of Queen Bitch could be used for just a little bit more, and could potentially get just a little bit more use than everybody else has been trying to do with it. And so she starts to mastermind some plans to overthrow the last King Dick, and get him killed, and get herself put into power. And then from there, she starts doing basically whatever she wants. All the meanwhile, she is being regularly contacted by a group of individuals that she has done work with, and appears to be trusted by. And initially, Dorothy here seems to be with them for the money, though at a certain point, maybe it starts to appeal to her a little bit more, and suddenly she becomes a full-fledged member of the Brotherhood of the Chain. And at that point, her position as the Queen Bitch is something that she then has to use to forward their goals. Because now she can control a criminal element that everybody else can't. You have seen Dawn, of course. The poofy-haired Ganassi that was seen in the earlier visions looks like a younger Dawn.
So handsome.
he's pretty cute would probably be the word I'd use for him. Like he wasn't like dashing. He was kind of like cuter at that point in his life.
He's the boy next door.
Yeah, sure. I'd say that's a good way of putting him. So that would be why they knew of Dawn and why Dawn would be such a good fall guy, because she worked with Dawn.
Hey, quick question.
Sure.
If you kill the queen bitch, do you become the new person in charge?
No, this is not. It is not Highlander. It is simply whoever they don't want, like whoever they hate the most, is the guy that gets stuck doing the bureaucracy, basically. She just made herself seem like the best person to do the bureaucracy, and manipulated her way into being given that position.
Interesting. There's will, of course, relay everything.
Oh, sorry. I had just a little bit more to provide.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Yeah, I apologize. Moving away from the past, you will see a brief glimpse of something closer to the present. You see that in Thornhurst, a small cart or set of carts have been set up to act as a abode for the queen bitch. They are regularly changing positions. They regularly change layouts. The individuals who are working there are regularly changing, and they are not staying as the same staff every single time. It is constantly cycling through their employees. And one cart at a random that she chooses every single time is where she is putting all of her stuff. And she is sitting on a small hoard of documents on people's backgrounds, large amounts of money, treasure. She is basically sitting on a nice little hoard while everybody else does her bidding.
Kaz? Kaz. The bitch that got your uncle thrown into prison, essentially, has so much money.
Okay, but she was the one that framed Dawn.
I know. What I'm saying is, when we kill her, we get all of that.
Yeah, we have to fight the criminal city first, though. We won't get that.
What? So.
Yep.
She's just a ganassi.
Yep.
What was?
She's simply.
The cat
What was Dottie doing then?
Dottie?
Yeah.
Nothing. Dottie is simply someone who has a similar name to Dorothy.
And a
Who's right there.
similar job, clearly.
Yep.
Would that mean
Man,
that...
you just...
Oh no, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you just popped Becca's bubble.
Well, it's...
I was gonna say, are they... So Dorothy and Dawn would technically be around the same type of age, essentially?
Yep. Yeah, they're pretty close age-wise.
Well, around like 40, 50s-ish?
Yeah, around that point.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Becca?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
When we deal with her, it will have to be as much by surprise as possible, as assassins are most effective when they have the drop on a target, but not nearly as effective when it's the other way around. I don't know what kind of protection she has, but if she can be immobilized in some way, that might work best. As she likely is able to move rather quickly, just like Kaz can.
I'm starting to think why Dawn didn't want me involved now.
I mean, we do have
Gonna be
the
messy.
mirror. We could drop an ambush on her.
As soon as we have the plan in motion, although we would certainly not get away unseen. I'm certain that individuals would hear the confrontation from outside.
Yes. It's true.
Hey, Connor. Quick question. With spell scrolls, like if a spell initially takes a minute to cast, right?
Mhm.
With a spell scroll, does it still take that minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Casting time does not change the spell scrolls.
There's only 2 ways to prepare a spell, but technically the contingency spell, which I don't know if we have, Chronergy Wizard's Arcane Bane speed, and technically enchanting an item like a spell gem.
Those are
Right.
basically the only options. Yeah. Granted, they work and they're really good if you want to cast a spell immediately. Otherwise, your option is sit and wait for that minute to get that spell off.
Hmm. And contingency is a wizard-only spell, although bards can pick it up with their magical secrets.
Let me think on this.
Would you like to move on to the next individual?
Who are we doing next?
It's entirely up to you.
Or
How
try
about
Avic?
I was gonna say we can do Avic. The
Get all
bitch.
the dirt on him.
Yeah. I want to know what the fuck that deal is with the slimy asshole.
I hope his asshole isn't slimy.
I want you to know, I thought Connor was gonna make that joke, Becca. I thought Connor was gonna go there.
Ew.
He's half ooze from the waist.
Gross.
You should really get that checked out. Oh, Bean's coming
My
over.
My father was an ooze.
God, you guys already knew his backstory. Damn. You begin to cast your next ritual to look into the life of Avec Vidal. As you do so, you will see that Avec Vidal, in a much younger form, wearing what looks to be an older version of the military garb. He is traveling with a small regiment of individuals as they are making their way towards what looks to be middle of Ekes itself. What we would now know as this marker right here, which is where the Battle of Cairn Plains happened. You will see that Avec and his squad, they are all looking at what looks to be a tremendous swath of land that has been absolutely scorched and is just dead. Piles of bodies that should be there are instead piles of clothes and ash that begin to get blown away by the wind rather swiftly. And at this point, something in Alvec may have changed. Other members of the squad left. One went to Odela. A few others left and went to Pacretia and other continents. Avec stayed, and he began to pay more and more attention to the political climate of his country and everything else around it. And he began to try and help in every way he could. Granted, his definition of help had changed at this point. His definition of help was no longer simply reforming criminals. It was getting criminals, reforming what you could, getting rid of the ones you couldn't, and then making use of the ones that would have been nice to have in your back pocket. Out of character, he is basically turning into the CIA shortly after World War II.
Yeah. He's recruiting Nazi scientists.
Yeah, he's basically recruiting the worst people he can, using them, and then eventually killing them, probably. So Avec makes a name for himself inside of his organization. He slowly becomes more and more well known. He routinely says no to promotions that will put him into a position up at the very top of this organization, though. He never accepts that. He never wants to be the guy making orders for the entire thing. He always stays in a lower position. And it's because he has more control here. More fine control, that is. As through the entire time, he is slowly setting up things more and more and more until eventually a small organization finds him. No one in the organization is the same as what they are now. Amador Bayo is not part of it. Borja Matos is not there. No one else in this Brotherhood of the Chain is there that is now. Instead, it's a bunch of strangers that you've never met and never will meet. As Avec sees how useful this organization can be if it is used properly, and he slowly starts killing the other members of his organization and replacing them with people he wants. The first one he chooses is a judge by the name of Amador Bayo. Next, he goes with a man by the name of, oh God, I forgot his fucking name.
Roy?
Yep, Roy
Oh.
Rufino Roberto Rodriguez III. Actually, no, I apologize. Roy would have been first, and then once Roy got killed, it would be Amador Bayo.
Oh.
That was me mixing up names. After that, Dumas, who happens to be the ear of Lord Fiambora Ianra, and then more and more and more, all varied in their positions. Some people who are good with money, some people who are good with crime, some who have information, logistics, who know about money, law, magic, people who know about shipping and how boats are going to work for their security. He gets a nice little team that he has effectively made by manipulating everybody around him so that he can then get people to do what he wants. No one here actually realizes it, and no one else in the circle of the Brotherhood of the Chain realizes it. But Avec Vidal is responsible for a majority of them being there.
Oh my god, it's like glass onion.
Final
God.
boss.
Oh my god.
John, you're right.
That also means that as long as he is there, he's the most likely to rapidly find replacement members.
Oh, they would be in such disarray if he died.
He's definitely
Because it
the
would be so
one
much
at the
harder.
top, yeah. If not in
Hard.
name, in spirit.
He's personally, I'd love to kill him.
I mean, we're gonna have to.
No, I mean I
Most
would like to kill him.
I mean,
I
fair.
think, honestly, I think once the civilians are not civilian, I shouldn't call them civilians. The non-combatants are taken care of rapidly. You might be the one we want to go after first. He's clearly got the organizational skills, and if he's taken out, then the rest will scramble. Well,
It also
not
sends a
necessarily,
message,
but-
so.
And with that, I will leave you with one last, more recent vision of Avec Vidal. You can see that Avec Vidal has a small, nice office inside of the building, where you once met him all the way back when you had started your adventure in Giron. Inside of this nice little office, you see that he has a lovely desk made of mahogany, well carved and well engraved. You can see that on his desk there's a small picture, I should correct myself, a drawing of what looks to be Avec a young Avec, and several other elven men and a few elven women, all wearing similar uniforms from back in his military days. And you can see that Avec has with him a small sheet of paper. And you can see that he is starting to write down, he's basically just looking at a list of names. And he's just kind of gently tapping a fountain pen as he looks at it.
Any names familiar?
Yep. On this list of names, you see Prudence Dumas, Borja Matos, Florencio Nunez, Amador Bello. You see every single name of every other person there. You can then see that there is another list a little ways below it that says Lord Famborianra, Queen Orpheus, and then below that there's another list that says, hold on, let me correct that. There we go. That says Castella Rouvel Mazel, Darius Barriate, Fizeth Hizek, Fitzdubois. Becca, can you please correct me? What is her actual name?
Her full name?
Yes. Her real name.
I believe it was Aoife Arianrod Wilmot Maeve Shine.
It's going to be shortened to Aoife Shine. After that, it is Ignatius Tamarel. You see that Tana Hawthorne was there, scratched out. And then below all of that, there is another name of, I need to make sure I say this right, because I wrote it down. There it is, Catathak, the dragon. Or Casathak, I should say.
You mean the one that's flying around and causing problems?
Yep.
Darius comes out of...
Next to that one, he wrote a small question mark.
Darius comes out of that and just looks at Granny and goes, "Your last name is Shine?"
What?
It's so sweet sounding.
It's for Union. What do you want?
I think that if Granny had a name that none of us had ever heard instead of being Yufa, like if that was not her real name either, and Darius goes in, she's like, "You're not gonna believe it. They had a list of all of our names except Granny. There was some person named weird."
Yeah.
All our names were on that list. I don't know why we were on the same list as, or not same list, but like being tracked in the same way as the others were.
Probably just
He's also tracking. He's also tracking the queen and the I don't know, the prime minister, monarch,
Lord. It is
the lord.
It is still effectively a monarchy in. Well, okay, I should correct myself. It is a monarchy in the same way the United Kingdom is a monarchy. Lord Fiamborianra does possess still some political sway, though he is largely a...
He's not the one actually running the place.
He is largely a figurehead of his own design. He was responsible for a lot of redesigning of the government.
It's a constitutional monarchy.
Yeah, he intentionally made himself into basically a figurehead and said, "Look, you guys are making legal decisions. I'm here to be your nice little, poster child."
He presides over the Commonwealth.
Yes, exactly. You can think of it like that.
Is he nice?
You've never talked to him. You don't know.
Is he well liked? Okay, rephrase that. Is he well liked by the people?
Yes. Fiamborianra is very well liked, much in the same way that Orpheus was.
The queen and him were friends.
Yeah, that's friends with the queen, who's a friend in my book.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
You're muted.
Huh?
I said our friends because she's still alive. She's just in a robot body.
What was I gonna say? Oh, he probably has a list of that because that's probably a list of people with not the toot our own horn, but the people with the most power in this
I was
country
gonna
right
say
now
the same thing, actually.
to affect the events of whatever they're planning.
Yes, the biggest threats are obstacle to this gathering.
I will say, because you're intelligent and observant enough, Granny. Um, you actually, the idea of it being the people with the most power may not necessarily be true, because there's one name that wasn't there. Oriel Marixel. He's the head of a criminal organization with a lot of sway. He wasn't mentioned anywhere on there.
Yeah, but he's not well, one, there's a family member there on the list, and 2, he's not really affecting this. Like that did cross my mind when I was hypothesizing, but these are people who are either actively working against him, with him, or could fuck things up on a massive scale.
Yeah. And he hasn't shown any sign of working, like Becca said, openly against or with.
He's kind of an independent guy.
And there's no real reason for him to want to get involved, because the family's like pretty, I don't want to say secular. I don't know if that's the right word.
Self-concerned.
Yeah, they will make money no matter who's in charge.
Yeah.
Alternatively, this could be a list of the individuals who know about the vampire that aren't part of the organization.
The Fiambor and Orpheus don't. Wait, did we tell Orpheus?
Well, they were on a separate list. Those two were on a separate page from.
Well, we were on a separate page.
No, you guys were all on the same page. Literally, think of it like it is a list, and then there's like a small space, and then another list, and then a small space, and then another list. You're all on the same page.
Yeah.
It's just grouping. That's it.
Plus, he's actively trying to control us through Darius. Could be trying to control Orpheus through Fambor. I don't know his relationship with Fambor.
Either way, this man needs to get gone.
Kill him.
Well,
Out of character. Oh, play.
Go ahead. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Should we use the mirror to talk to the Emperor? Just to like establish ourselves? Be like, hey, we helped the queen. We just want to check in, see what's going on.
I would love.
I mean, we want to kill his assistant, aren't we?
Huh?
That's
We're about to kill his assistant. I would like to point that out. Maybe not the best. We can do it after.
Okay, maybe like rushing in and like killing his assistant might not be great. Maybe we'll like test the waters and see how he feels about his assistant first, maybe.
I mean, she has to die, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But
she
like,
appears to be a non-combatant, so hopefully we will do that remotely.
Maybe we go to Fiambor and be like, hey dude, I got some bad news about your assistant. She's in some shitty stuff.
Honestly,
would you mind if we talk to her? We talk to her.
No, we cannot let her know that we know, because then Avik will like know that we know, and then we could be.
Well, no, but I do think it's potentially still a good idea to try to contact Fambor. So no, I totally agree. I think I don't know if he would appreciate a random mirror call, but
no.
I think it would be funny.
It would be funny. And he can't really get mad because we revived his dead friend who got murdered.
Here's my thing.
Super hard.
I actually like the idea of a random mirror call.
The only problem is that we can't guarantee a privacy. But
we could initiate a meeting with him and potentially the queen at the same time, because we did deal with the mushrooms, reporting to them might be enough to garner a presence.
They probably
And if
already-
they ask for details about how, then we can arrange a more private setting, as that does involve information that we swore secrecy about with those.
So are
Anyway.
we contacting him because just to see how he's doing, or just I'm a little confused here.
I think we could potentially try to find out more about Prudence from him. If we wanted, cause like, but we still have 2 more legend lores.
Yeah.
Which would be Thorn and what's the other one?
Were we-
You guys could maybe do that on Arbor.
Hmm. We'll definitely have to do a lot of discussion outside of the game, probably. It's a
That's fine.
long, winding
Yeah.
road ahead of us.
Next, legend lore. Now,
Would you like to do Thorn or Arbor?
I want to do Arbor.
Oh, Arbor.
Arbor?
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to say I have control of the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's true,
We'll
you
do
do.
Thorn next. I just
You
like the
do.
name Arbor, and we have no last name for Arbor, whereas Thorn wouldn't have a last name more than likely.
Thorn simply does not have a last name.
So Thorn, I feel like, would be less. I don't know. I tried to explain my brain went there. I just feel like we know even less about Arbor than we do Thorn.
And we could potentially get more information on Thorn from his partner without having it be suspicious about talking.
But yeah, let's go. We're gonna learn more either way, both.
Casting Legend Lore upon Arbor, your eyes roll back yet again. Starting to give you a bit of a headache.
I was gonna say my eyes must be killing
Yeah,
me.
man, you got a tension headache going right across your brow right now. This sucks.
My drops.
It's so
Um,
much.
No, Gwen can give me a nice scalp massage when this is over.
You cast a spell to see the man known as Arbor, and you will see what looks to be a young tabaxi man. He is currently wearing what looks like a vest that's just open at the front. He is what I would say like tabby pattern, kind of orange in coloration, loose fluffy hair. It kind of like comes off of his face almost like mutton chops, but it is actually just his fur pattern. And you will see that this man is not a wizard. He is in fact a sorcerer. It is simply his bloodline that allows him to have this much power. And his method of making money was at one point in his life, he was simply just a sailor. He worked on various boats. He learned how their shipping works. He learned how piloting the ship works. He can do so fairly well. So as of now, his way of doing it is once he learned how his magic works, he would get himself a relatively small looking boat. He would damage the sails. He would ding up the sides of it to look like he went through a storm, and he would play dead in the boat in the middle of a shipping lane. And you would get picked up. Then he would play along. And then he would find a nice bag of loot. He would take as much of it as possible, and he would teleport himself away from the boat. He did it every single time. And then one
That's
day,
incredible.
yeah, it's a very clever trick. And then one day, he would run into an individual who tried to recruit him to the Brotherhood of the Chain. In this case, it was actually Avak Vidal. And it is simply because Mr. Arbor here had so much information about how the shipping lanes would work and how boats would be traveling in and out of Ekes, that he was able to give some perspectives that were unique to the people here, and also was good at acquiring a few things that needed to be discreetly stolen from boats. Several poorly wrapped and hidden body parts that needed to be taken away from from ships that were going to some very wealthy men who just wanted to have it because they thought it was a very interesting item. Typically, they were hands with large, sharp talons on them. At one point, he stole a head. What looks like a torso. It appears that Arbor here was being used as the way of acquiring a few things that were harder to get. As he was the most effective way to do it with as little evidence as possible. The only difference is that with those thefts, by the end of it, Arbor would leave behind a present inside the ship to make sure the ship did not survive.
A bomb.
Effectively.
He will be trouble to deal with if he can teleport. And there is also a chance that, similar to Fitz and myself, he would be able to counter some of our magic.
Oh.
I will not give you any present information on Arbor because, to be honest, he is not as important as the other two you looked into. He is a powerful spellcaster that was being used to steal things. That's why he's there.
He probably just continued to do more of the same.
Yeah, he's probably stealing stuff right now as we speak. But there's nothing super important to tell you.
Yeah, he doesn't seem beholden to the Brotherhood, more so just it was a job opportunity.
That does perhaps give a chance of setting up an ambush for him. If something that blocked teleportation was set up on a ship traveling along shipping lanes, could potentially pick him up and have him trapped there. However, this would be perhaps beyond our current resources.
Interesting.
I knew you guys would at least be entertained by his method of theft, by the way.
I don't really have anything to add to him right now. He doesn't seem like the biggest player in this.
Okay.
Next person.
Fair enough. Last
Let's
person.
do Thorn.
So one last time, you will cast your spell to begin looking into the individual known as Thorn.
I popped some fantasy ibuprofen before we did this.
Poor Brave
I got it
needs
at the
break after all of
I got it at the fantasy Costco.
Where all your dreams come true.
God damn it.
I got a deal for you.
By the way, I have adjusted Arbor's description to be thief, sorcerer, con man. That's it. There's nothing spectacular near his name.
He's just doing his own shit, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's the guy that he just kind of got looped into it, to be honest. He is a convenient pawn.
If things get rough, he might just cause losses and flee.
That is a very real possibility. He could just ditch.
Also, aspirin did exist in the
acetanilide.
1900.
We've already had acetanilide appear in the game.
So yeah, that would be what Darius would just take.
Yeah, I probably actually have some.
I think you may. So you begin casting the last legend lore upon Thorn. And you will find out that Thorn is an individual who grew up in the Firbolg town of Galmatal. He is a fairly young individual by their standards. He was probably about, you'd say, maybe 29 at this point. He's rather young as Firbolg go. Though he is still very skilled by their standards. He is what one could loosely refer to as a prodigy. Extremely skilled at spellcasting, extremely talented at artifice. He quickly left Gamlatal shortly after his talent was evident, and he basically just went to nearby cities in North Ekes for studying. And at that point, he basically just kind of improved by leaps and bounds as he became better and better and better and better and better. Though Thorn was skilled, is skilled, I should correct myself. Thorn is very much how would I describe this? I'm trying to avoid judgmental language. He does not appear to have much in the way of emotional attachment to people around him.
He's
Them.
detached.
Yeah, he's emotionally detached. They do not appear to make emotional attachments. They do not appear to care to hold on to emotional attachments. They are not really all that interested socially. To the degree where once the proposal was given to him by Avec Vidal to join up and control the people around them, they willfully stepped right in. They said, "Yep, that sounds like a good idea. I'll take that." It was
So he's like a CEO.
Yeah, he has the morality of a CEO or any other individual that is by pop culture psychology called a psychopath. Or a Republican. That is also an option. Through dead, uncaring eyes, they put up the facade of being a merchant in Hargrak, selling goods to people well below what he would normally make, but playing along. So that, at the very least, people just saw him as some Firbolg selling goods. The reality is that Thorn was given a different objective. Thorn was basically told to acquire and amass as much magical power as possible. So Thorn has done that. And for this, you will see one last present day vision of this individual. At the peak near Gamlatal, you will see that a large runic circle has been inscribed on the floor. You can see that it has been carefully etched and marked onto the stone itself, carved out, and basically in a fan pattern, angling towards what looks like a village or town down below. And at the center of this, there is what looks like a pedestal that has been set up, and there is some kind of a sphere. It looks like loose hunks of metal that are all circling around itself, hiding some kind of an energy deep within it. And you may see that the circle appears to be getting finished up by Thorn, who, dead-eyed, will activate this sphere. And within an instant, you will watch as this wave just goes down the mountain through the town, and you can hear the distant sounds of thump, 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 as hundreds begin dying. and the orb begins to glow with more and more power. And Thorn simply puts their hand upon it, and a deep eldritch light begins to glow within their eyes.
He's trying to become a lich.
He is likely trying to become a lich. And he has already done something to Gamlatal.
He killed the village?
Yeah. He needs to be taken care of and swiftly, honestly.
Yeah, I said Avec first, but I think this is a bit more urgent.
Mm-hmm. Alvin can go
Because
after.
if he becomes a lich, we'll have a lot more problems dealing with him in the first place.
And
Yeah,
Yes.
he needs to be.
oh my.
Perhaps if we send the cart to one of the locations, then we might be able to rather quickly get to the other individual after we deal with the first.
Do you think we can make it look like a coincidence that we kill him?
I think
Like,
if
not
he's
like
trying
we were
to be a
hunting them
lich,
down.
I don't think we need.
I know, but to keep from suspicions being raised by the others. Could we make it look like it was...
Would you please check your quest log? You may already have something there that
Yes.
says that you were asked to find him.
Oh, that's right.
And do we know anyone from that region who might be able to ask our assistance in dealing with the threat?
If you would care to think back to the very beginning of this game, there was indeed a Firbolg you knew who came from that
Yeah.
area.
Yes,
Yeah, we
Connor,
haven't got
I'm
our
actively
sweet-
phrasing it in a way to suggest it because Ignatius doesn't know.
It's true.
But
I don't remember
But one of-
anything or anything. Somebody explain it to me like I'm
It's the
5.
Fisher.
Yeah, so no, it is not the
No,
Fisher.
it's the
No,
driver. I can't remember
the
her name right
driver.
now.
That's right.
Yeah. I am mentioning it because there's a character here who has keen mind. So I don't really get to hide things. God,
Yeah.
damn feet. But yes, so if you recall all the way back at the very beginning of this, there was during the quest line A Murder in Violet, it was, let me see, Irenace. She was a Firbolg who was expelled from Gamlatal, the Firbolg town, and they were from there.
And Thorn's business partner also wanted people to look into them, right?
Correct.
Isn't that?
yes, because
They
Ash
hadn't found them in
doesn't
a
know
while.
anything about Thorn's true motives, and
They did not who it was. No, know what
And
they were
if
doing.
we
Yeah.
if we end up in that section of the country looking for him and we find a lich or someone attempting to become a lich, we have plausible deniability.
yeah, and I doubt Thorn told Ash anything or even gave a second thought when he left. Ash is probably just part of his cover.
It is very likely that Ash, the other artificer you had met who was concerned for Thorn, is just a sucker that they pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
I say this with all over in the world. I'm gonna need someone to explain that to me after session.
I can do that. No problem.
Because my brain's not.
You just did 4. You just did 4.
No, we're talking about Jess, not their character.
Connor.
No, Michelle is right. That's why I can't think.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's because
You
Jess
just did-
just cast a spell 4 times in a row.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, to quickly go down the list of serious threats you have. 1, Avec Vidal. He is a mastermind. He is likely planning quite a bit more than you already are aware of. He's also extremely well connected. Big threat number 2, Dorothy, aka the Ice Princess. She is a master assassin. She is a master manipulator. She is currently in charge of Thornhurst, and could have quite a bit of sway over the criminal element. And number 3 is Thorn, master arcanist, master artificer, and potential lich to be. So those are 3 of the most dangerous elements here. Wild cards include Arbor, who may be dangerous or may just run and never bother you again. The fair possibility he could just fucking ditch.
And for the major threats, Avec likely frequently monitors everyone else and would be the one who would be the hardest to reach. Thorn likely wouldn't care if something happened to the others, but might still be interested in pursuing this power. And obviously wants to become a lich anyways.
Remember also, one of these people is the traitor.
Yeah. Well, that could have been talking about Avec to the previous Council of 12 of them. Killed off the 11 others to make this new council.
That is a very fair interpretation. It's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
Avec did betray his old council and made his own effectively.
Now, I think out of the big 3 threats that we know, Dorothy would probably be the slowest to react. She, without the pushing of others there, she might beef up her defenses if something happened to them, but she also would probably just kick back and laugh at them for a little bit of time before she started making her own moves.
So this part is something that I would honestly recommend you guys discuss on your own times. You could talk about it in the game channel on our Discord. You could talk about it in the to-do list. Either way, trying to figure out how people are going to react and which one you should go for first is going to be a good out of character conversation. Because we could talk about this for 5 fucking hours, probably.
This group? Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I also recognize this. It's tough. It's complicated.
And at least 2 of those hours will just be us talking in circles.
Right.
Yeah, this is also true.
At least.
Yeah.
Thus, this is one of the few times where I'm going to explicitly say metagame. Talk amongst yourselves. Try to figure out who you want to go for first.
That's fair.
That's fine. I will also give you a little bit of meta knowledge. There are absolutely people here that are what you could loosely refer to as padding for the list and are very easy to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like we've at least identified at least one of them.
You accidentally identified one of them. Yes, you accidentally killed him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
And-
we didn't. Frog did.
Yes, you're right.
Frog's a
Frog
murderer.
accidentally killed one of the bits of padding. There are some people here that are extremely easy to kill or extremely easy to deal with.
Wait, but didn't Avec tell us to kill him?
Yes.
You're correct.
Yes.
He was
Okay,
like, this
the
guy's
Avec
too
is right
crazy.
here.
Yeet.
Because he stopped being useful.
Yeah. That's the thing is he probably already had someone else in mind.
It's certainly possible.
I'm just wondering who would be the one that really wants to revive the vampire. Because then initially the group was like
Avec.
trying to split it.
It's Avec.
Savik?
He's the one who
Avec.
replaced everyone, and when Amador joined, this was already in process. I think Avec is the one who wanted to do it.
Yes.
We think we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm saying it very
Thorn could
confidently, but this
also-
is what I think.
There's one way to do.
Yeah, Thorn would also not hesitate to kill the rest of them. But
Probably not, no.
Yeah,
To be quite honest, I was gonna. Oh no, go ahead.
Thorn is directed.
yeah,
He's not
Ye-
doing this like because he was like, I think I'll become a lich. Like someone told him to go be a lich.
You were saying, Jolly.
Oh, I was just gonna ask to cast divination of who's most likely to betray all of them at that point.
Oh, sure.
Hmm.
You
know what?
absolutely
I-
have that as an option.
That's
Go
fucking
wild.
brilliant.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Ask-
I cast.
All
Oh,
you
no,
need
go
to
ahead.
do is pick out one of the names and ask me.
Okay.
You know, I'm just choosing a name random. Is Quincy Houck likely to betray the rest of the Brotherhood? Like, you have to choose one and ask me a yes or no question on it, and I'll
Okay.
answer.
Well, Avik is the one we're pretty sure of right now. So do you want to start with Avik? And if no, we
Yeah.
can just keep going down the list later.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Gonna cast divination. You know the drill. I'm specifically going to ask, based off of the prophecy of who's going to betray the Brotherhood of the Chains, who is most likely going to revive the vampire from the casket? In terms of I'm
Yeah.
starting with Avik. Obviously.
Yeah, is Avek likely to be the traitor?
Yes.
Basically. You will cast divination, and in your hands you will see a small.
I think it's Thorn.
You will see a small set of clouds begin to appear, and where once it is rainy and thundering, it begins to part slightly, and a small miniature sun begins to appear, as if to say, "Yes."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
So,
it once,
yeah.
you'll do it again.
Yep, it is as simple as that. Avik Vidal is he masterminded it last time. He killed
did it.
everybody else. He got what he needs now.
He did it so he can do this.
So he will most likely be the traitor within the prophecy, essentially.
Yes. Basically, think of divination as 99% certainty.
Okay.
You are 99% sure. Yeah, it's gonna be him.
Okay, so we gotta get rid of that man too. Oh god.
Okay.
We'll be talking about who to go after first later.
Oh,
Because we could talk about this for hours. And it's just.
Maybe
Really?
that's a later time.
Whew. All right.
No.
Great question.
And as you guys are all kind of talking amongst yourselves and trying to think of this, you will hear at the front door of the cart.
Not this shit again.
Not this again.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, what if it's Adrian?
What if?
Come and kill us all.
It's literally, it's that scene from Scott Pilgrim. Tell him I'm not here.
Connor, can we at least look to see what it is so that way we have more suspense?
Yeah, sure. You look out the window, you don't see anybody there.
What the
Great.
A ghost!
We're not answering the
Would
door.
you like
they can
me
see
to
We
us
don't
in
need
front.
this.
Do you have sea invisibility or something?
No solicitors.
No solicitors.
I do have sea invisibility. Why?
I do as well.
Cast it.
I really think we should just make a no solicitor sign, stick our hand out the door, and slap it on the front in front of them.
Instead of
Alright, so-
answering.
No offense, I should use it so you save your rushing can't. And if I open the door and it's a surprise attack, I'm
don't
not gonna be.
immediately go down.
You know, that's a fair point, actually.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like this.
Just in case I'm gonna get shot, let me do it.
In case they have a shotgun, I'll open it first.
It's a really good point, to be honest.
So,
I take
I'll
no
use-
offense to that.
yeah, I'll use the invisibility and then open the door.
You do not see anybody there, even with the invisibility. You see simply a bullet that has been left on the floor in front of the
No,
door.
not
This
this
one-
again!
This fucker again. I'm
bitch.
bored.
Leave us alone!
Does it have my
I
name
can't
on
believe
it?
this.
You will pick up the bullet to see likely whatever message is on it.
Oh,
I've
Connor's typing.
sent you a message of what it says.
Enter that man's dreams. I swear to God.
Does this look As a question, does this look like the bullets that Weston was using, or does it look like the bullets that someone else that we know was using?
It looks like something that came from Weston.
Yeah. Alright, it seems that this Weston individual has yet another hostage, but doesn't specify which.
What? How do you know he has a hostage?
It's pretty apparent when he says, I have the girl.
And Granny just goes like, all the blood just drains out of her face.
Which one's
Oh.
the girl?
Although, this could lead to something that could help us out.
Really? I'd love to hear that.
Weston Dove is very clear that he'll do anything to get a duel with you. Perhaps this could even be used to get him to, I don't know, assassinate a particular individual in a place of high power, such as Avek.
I appreciate
Completely
your logic, but
leaving
if he has the girl, I think he has. I'm not going that far.
Well, we could continue to play cat and mouse with these confrontations with him. Or we could set up some sort of deal to fight him properly. If he helps with this matter.
Does he say anything? The bullet. Does the bullet say anything about where he is?
It just says, I have the girl.
I request that we go back to Giron.
We could use the mirror for faster purposes and just send the cart in our direction.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fine.
She's alright. She'll use the mirror and she'll open a doorway to her goddaughter's home.
Okay. You open a door that would lead you to your goddaughter's home. Stepping through, you find yourself in Giron, and you find the door is ajar.
No, the door is a door.
Shut up.
I'll kill you. I'll destroy you.
I win.
Are we continuing or are we leaving a cliffhanger? I don't know what the plan is.
Go ahead.
Okay. She draws her, like, she has her gun at the ready and she very carefully, like, tries to, I don't know. Well, no, she doesn't draw her gun. She just has her hand, like, on it. And she knocks very gently.
You hear no response.
She'll very slowly kind of push the door further open.
Okay. Opening up the door further, you will see that there is nothing. The room is empty. There's stuff here, of course, but the room itself is empty. Save for a chair that was left facing at the door that is currently stained in blood. with some kind of a lump on the seat of the chair.
A lump.
Yeah, you can see there's some kind of lump. It's covered with a cloth, which is soaked in blood.
Okay.
You would rather not one of us could.
No. This is my responsibility. She picks up the cloth.
You are looking at what looks to be a small hand, someone's left hand that has been cut off where the wrist would be.
If Fitz wants to touch it, he can tell how old it is.
If you wouldn't mind.
I need to double check a number. There's about the hand of about a 4-year-old individual. 40, not 14. Whoop.
I was like,
As I was saying it, I went, hold on, wait, that sounds like a different word. No, I apologize.
Here, I will point out on my end, the T denied that. Here, I only heard 4. I heard 4-year-old.
Lordy Lou. No. 4D. 4T.
I really had a moment.
I was like, 4-year-old individual. I was like, holy shit! I'm murdering him myself.
Like you got way too far.
That would have been a step way too far on my part. No. It is a
figuring children. I think
Yeah.
How
probably
good of
an
a
issue.
story element was that?
Yeah, it would be
How
fucking
good of a story
horrifying.
element?
No, so it is the hand of a 40-year-old individual. They are gnomish.
Mm-hmm.
This explains something else that made me think it was a child.
It's a
It's
small hand.
small hand.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, no. I mean, still, oh no.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
But
But at least it's not a 4-year-old.
oh man.
Beans.
Highest perception in the party, by the way?
Huh?
Highest perception in the party?
Either Fizzy or
It's tight.
Darius.
Well, I
Is it still
don't
time?
like that question.
Oh, cool.
First
Fizzy
of
and
all.
Dallas both have 20s.
Got it. Cool.
Mine's 1 million. Beat that.
Got it. Fits.
1 billion, actually. I misread that. Too many zeros.
Oh, okay, perfect. Hey, Fitz, you'll see in the corner of the room there is what looks to be a small small crib that is not yet used, but there is a little note inside of it.
Oh.
I don't. The other people who actually have higher perception see that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
you don't
sorry.
Want to you don't want to
guys, I
subject
might
yourself
have-
to the trauma?
I might have fibbed. My perception's not that high.
Do you think maybe the parents in the party should see the empty crib?
I think the parent, I think the parent sees the empty crib.
Yeah, because I think she would be looking for things like that. So she walks over to the crib that's empty, and I keep saying Jill light up while I'm talking very loudly. It's very funny for me. There's a simple solution. I can just close this.
Yeah, that's fair.
What is the note say?
The crib itself is unused. It has not been ever, it seems. It is brand new, just bought. In the note, there is simply a drawing of what looks like a smiley face. And then it says, in 2 days.
In 2 days. You're gonna kill the baby.
I was gonna make a joke about that one cop movie with the snowman where it's like, trying
Yeah.
to find me, Mr. Police.
I
But then it got really dark.
Here's the thing. We have a mirror. We can go back to the cart and go right back to Wes and just... I'm so serious when I say this.
That's probably what gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's the smartest thing I think to do if we've got a limited time to
Yeah.
save a woman and her unborn child.
How did he find out
And her
about this?
And her husband, I need to point out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there too, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
He's a man. Who cares?
How did he? There are only 2 people on this side of the ocean. On either side of the ocean. Who knows about my goddaughter?
Not to get too conspiracy minded,
Mhm.
but there is someone who is powerful who is tracking us.
I never even mentioned her to you guys.
But there is someone very powerful who is tracking us.
Do you
And if he
think
wants
there
to
was like
get-
a legend lore was done on me?
Well, also keep in mind he used to be a journalist. He has
This was-
quite a trained ability to uncover information and also has been shown to have the ability to change people's memories, so he might have forced information out of people and then made them forget that.
Well, here's the thing as well. You guys don't know about her. My old crew doesn't know about her. I don't want to think. Maybe he got the information out of my cleric friend, but well, she pulls out a locket that she's always worn under her clothes. And she opens it, and there's like 2 pictures of a young gnomish girl. And she goes, that train crash that, prompted me coming here in the first place. There was also a very young child on there, and, well, I felt responsible for her, but I was in no situation, no mindset to actually take care of her. So I took her with me and I gave her to the church, and the church found her a family that loved her. And I kept my distance. I got updates about her from Odile, but Vernak, I always considered her my goddaughter. And I cared for her fiscally. I gave her her family never wanted for money. But she has nothing to do with this, with me. She was a baby.
Does she even know who you are?
No, not unless she's got a photographic memory from when she was
From birth?
from birth. I took care of her for maybe a month. You know, however long it took to sail from Vermune to Giran and get out of the woods. I mean, we are the only 2 survivors of that crash, and I maybe also killed her dad right before that. So it's kind of the last promise I made to her dying mother. Keep her safe. And
Well, then we keep her safe. Well, then
you
we
said,
leave.
Fizzy, you said you we're gonna be able to regenerate limbs at one point.
I just gotta get a little more powerful. I can feel it happening, but I'm just
Well,
not
keep practicing, because I'm gonna have a request for you when you're able to do it.
Understandable. No worries. Listen, family's important. I know that better than anyone. I mean, we all know that. We have all had to save family here, pretty much.
Mine's literally in the next room.
So I think, again, I
I
think
don't even
without...
think it's fair to call her family, but I'm. It's the last thing he's trying to hold my attention with.
Hold on. We'll
I
say.
say
Go
I-
ahead.
I say we don't waste time.
Agreed.
The longer we wait, the more likely she is to lose yet another limb.
We should go
Or
now.
worse.
Or worse.
I am feeling a little... Yeah, I will say I do feel a little petty. Because he wants you to kill him, and I think someone else should. Don't give him what he wants. He can die.
We'll
But-
see what happens when we get there.
Granny doesn't want to kill.
The rest of us
Well,
don't mind, though.
Yes,
No, we
there's
don't.
plenty of us who are willing to oblige, understand?
It's not that I don't want to kill. It's that I think
Well-
I did enough killing in my life.
Oh, yeah. Well, we
There's
can...
a-
You don't need to worry about that right now. Let's go.
I have another plan. It might be able to solve this if I can get that game of fate spell off. Might be able to solve this without any more bloodshed.
Did I give you the spell scroll for that yet?
You did, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
I
You did.
Okay. Oh, I gave you the spell scroll? Okay, I need to take it off my sheet then.
It might not be in my inventory.
Actually, don't remove it from your sheet just yet, Jess. I'll just drag it from yours to Becca's.
I already deleted it.
Balls deck. I will place it in there. It's fine.
Also, I just literally added a new item and made the name
No, it's fine.
game a fate scroll. I didn't make it fancy.
Okay.
Didn't actually drag the description of the spell or anything.
No. I mean, when it's time to use it, I'll just drop the card.
Yeah, that's basically how I'd expect you to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Before we go through with all this, we will have to teleport back to the cart. Should we take a few minutes for Fitz to recover the spell?
Yeah, we can spend an hour to get Fitz's spell slots.
It's also important to not rush in men feeling
Yes,
emotional.
need to prepare.
Have I used any spell slots?
I meant like
Oh.
after we teleport back to the.
We're gonna
Oh,
teleport back.
we're
and
going
yeah,
to.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like-
Teleport back.
I was like,
Yeah,
no,
but
I
you
ain't
will.
done anything. I have spell slots out the ass right now. Out the ass.
How
I
many
say
do you
with
have, Jill? How many is that? 3? 2?
A
Oh.
lot.
It's so many. It's so many.
It's not a lot.
Many.
2 spell slots and a 6th level spell,
True.
which is technically not a spell slot because you can only use it for that spell.
I technically 3 and maybe a half spell slot. I
3.5 spell slots.
So many fucking spells, dude. It's crazy.
So many.
So many, man. Oh. for
No.
once.
It's a pouring rain again outside. Yes, it is.
So, while you guys all return back to the cart and have to deal with this new revelation, as well as all the other pieces of information you found, we will be leaving off there. Thank you also very much for being here. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Special thanks to my friends for hanging out and playing this game with me. If you enjoy what we do, pass the word around. Tell your friends. We stream regularly Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I may or may not pick up more days of streaming since Yakuza Infinite Wealth is going to take so long to complete otherwise.
Do you want the Friday streams? At least
I don't
some
know.
of the time.
Maybe. It depends on how what I'm feeling like. I was thinking of like literally like another day. But either way.
Without any context, somebody else may take the Friday streams again at some point.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I'm looking at game books right now, and
Oh,
I just got one of the Kickstarters I funded a while back for Urban Shadows.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
okay.
have
Very
so
cool
many
then.
Third-party books
In
that
that
I
case-
backed.
In
I
that
also
case,
have Vampire.
yeah, that's true. In that case, we may pick up another TTRPG for Fridays. But for right now,
Depends
that
if
is
I write.
for right now that is a we will see kind of situation. I may pick up more streaming days. We will see. But for right now, we're gonna end stream there. Thank you all so very much for being here. Say bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
stream.
Bye, stream.